Hello everyone, welcome back to another Farm Fact Friday. As always, it's great to be here. Today I want to start off with a question to see how many people can relate to this. How many people recall days in the summer where they had to put on pants or jeans with boots and maybe long sleeves even? If you didn't wear long sleeves, you were subject to lots and lots of, roughness on your arms, scratches, and filling up a water jug so that you could jump on a wagon behind a baler to spend time in the field baling. So that's how baling is done in lots of areas. It's something that has to be done if you have livestock, and that's the way you bed them to give them a dry surface. Not everyone bales the straw after wheat harvest, but that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. Baling has changed slightly. For this particular operation, it's just hard to come by people who are available to help with baling, especially with the amount of baling that takes place. So, as I mentioned, the baling, there's a baler, and then there's oftentimes a wagon behind it with people on it who manually stack those bales just right so that they don't fall off, but you're getting as many on that wagon as possible. Only to have that wagon pulled to maybe a barn where it is unloaded, also manual, put into possibly a haymow, and people manually up in the haymow where it's usually dreadfully hot in the summer are also stacking it. So there's lots and lots of manual labor that's involved, but not all operations work that way. And for these guys, they now have what is called a Bale Baron. And to see this thing in operation is pretty cool. I was hoping we could show that today, but they finished up last night, and it was a good thing they did because rain came in today. So what the Bale Baron does, let me preface it by saying there are two options, the Bale Baron or the Bale Bandit, and the only difference is in how the final bundle is tied. So this one, the Baron, it uses string at the end to tie all these bales together. So what happens is the regular baler does its thing, and it goes into the Bale Baron, where it is putting it into rows of 7. And then once it has a row of 7, it creates another row of 7, and then another row of 7. And once it has the 3 rows of 7 each, so 21 bales, it compresses it down and does the final twine to put it all together. And then as you can see at the back of it right now, this would roll out of it and go onto the field. And then what's required is something like a skid steer to pick that up in the field and put it on a flatbed trailer, stack it up, and then we would need drivers to get it back to a facility such as this to put it in here for storage. So, certainly benefits. There's also cons to it as well. The cost may be a little bit more depending on how much help you need on the manual process versus how much the actual piece of equipment costs. So lots of things that weigh into what you decide to do with it, as well as volume. So if you're not doing that much of baling just to maybe take care of a smaller livestock herd, then that's probably sufficient. But for these guys who are not only providing bedding for their animals, but also providing straw to other farmers, this works for them. So behind me you can see, and I'll show you over here, you can see the stacks of the bundles, as I mentioned, 21 in each, and stacked from ceiling, or from floor to ceiling. So this, the manual labor goes down, but also less space for storage because those bales are compact, which makes it nice for loading semis and trailers as well. So as I mentioned, wish I would have had this live in action, but now if you see this in the fields as you're driving through the country, maybe you can get to a safe spot and kind of watch it all it all happen. And if I can get my hands on a video of this in production, I'll post it in the comments for you guys to check out. So with that, I hope you enjoyed today's Farm Fact Friday, wrapping up what wheat harvest looks like from a straw perspective. So have a great rest of your Friday, a wonderful weekend. We'll check you back next week for another Farm Fact Friday. Take care.